Spiritual Living Leesburg. So our theme for the year of 2024 is a grand rising. And in the month of November, we are focusing on abundance. And listen to this title. For today, our wonderful Reverend Charlene Banks will be speaking on no buns to share. It's a good thing we're not too close to Thanksgiving, right? All right. We're so glad that you took some time out of your day to join us. Thank you so much. If you have any prayer requests or celebrations that you would like us to include later in our service when we do our spiritual mind treatment, this is a form of affirmative prayer. Please let us know. Put it in the chat or the comment section, and Charlene will be sure to include that. So that's all I have to say to kick things off. Sit back, take a deep breath and relax, and enjoy our welcoming video. Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be a service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly, and so it is.
And now Kristen will lead our meditation.
Well, I just really hope that you are doing well this morning. And I wish each of you to find a place where you can settle in a little bit more comfortably, minimizing distractions around you. And so I'll give you a moment to find a place. Maybe it's a seat, maybe it's laying down someplace. Just finding that gentle area where you can relax for a moment. Calm, supported. And we're just starting by putting our feet on the floor, maybe relaxing the body and just becoming more body aware for this instance. If you're laying down, maybe you're feeling the heaviness of the body into the support beneath you. And if you're seated, you're feeling maybe the chair and maybe your feet resting lightly on the floor and your hands maybe just relaxing a little bit more. And just letting that breath flow freely, not trying to control, not trying to do anything really, just letting go a little bit into surrendering into the power of the body to sustain itself. You might become aware of your heart beating. And feeling that heartbeat always leads my attention to the divine energy that sustains my body at all times. So feeling into that divine energy that is you. And I love to feel it from the inside. And so just letting your mind sort of relax, feeling that energy from the center maybe emanating out to each limb. Call this your chi. Just let it be your intention to feel the chi energy that is you. This is just a lovely practice. And we bring into our awareness those 5 pillars of our service, the truth, and just feeling truth resonate for you for a moment. Rippling that word, that idea, that principle of truth through your being. Letting it propel things that you think, letting it propel things that you say. You might be able to feel that more in the root chakra as the foundation of who you are. When we go to power, and so feeling the power of your own chi energy that is always accessible, is always there. It never goes away. You might imagine it as coming from your center or your sacral chakra, the power of the being of you. And it's founded on that principle and that idea of truth. Now bringing an appreciation for the peace. Just scanning the body and bringing peace to each part that you're aware of. Maybe there's an ache or a tension, and just bringing more peace. And that is the signal of the end of the meditation. Of course, there are more powers to bring into your awareness. But for today, we're going to leave with that peace. And just bringing your awareness to your hands, maybe wiggling them and flooding the eyelids open. And just as a nod, looking around to give peace to everything around you in this environment. Thank you.
And so it is. Thank you, Kristen. And now we have some music from Leah.
Good morning, everyone. I am going to see if I can post these lyrics to the chat because I'd like to invite you to sing along, but it's a few more words than you'll be able to memorize. Let's see. I'll sing the refrain for you once so you can get a feeling of what it sounds like. Now is a moment for shining on. It's all right to cry. Keep your eyes on the prize. Now is a moment for shining on. The world needs our light more than ever. Now is a moment for singing out loud. It's alright to cry. Keep your eyes on the prize. Now is a moment for singing out loud. The world needs our songs more than ever. Now is a moment to let fear go. It's alright to cry. Keep your eyes on the prize. Now is the moment to let fear go. The world needs our courage more than ever. Now is the moment for kindness. It's alright to cry. Keep your eyes on the prize. Now is a moment for kindness. The world needs our warmth more than ever. Now is a moment for taking a breath. It's alright to cry. Keep your eyes on the prize. Now is a moment for taking a breath. The world needs our peace more than ever. And now is a moment for open hearts. It's alright to cry. Keep your eyes on the prize. Now is a moment for joining hands. The world needs our love more than ever. This world needs our love more than ever.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Leah. I needed that so much. Just everybody in the audience is showing thankful hands. So beautiful. You always do it. Because I think I knew where we all were on Tuesday. Emotionally. I don't know about you, but I took this journey that it was reminiscent of other times in my life. Let me walk you through it. Maybe you can relate. Before the election, I was in bliss and I was in joy, and I was like Snoopy, with my feet up, dancing through the flowers. Because I'm like, she's got this. And then I started watching, and I'm looking at the news. I'm trying not to look at the news, and then I go to sleep, and I wake up and I look at the news, and the disappointment that I felt in our country, I was ready to be like, not my country. but it was disappointment first. And then it was a feeling of, am I surprised though? Am I surprised? Because there's a special way as a woman of color that we see the world. And it doesn't surprise us that the mediocre person, the subpar choice, just fails up, floats up, just does it. And then when I was younger, some of the majority, some of the white folks would say, well, cream rises to the top. Cream, I'm cream, I rise to the... Well, it could just be that society floats your behind to the top. Nothing to do with you. And if I did that, I couldn't get away with it. So I was in a feeling of just like pissed. And then I became fearful because I think about all the people that will be targeted by this new administration. So just so you know, in a span of not that long, I went from bliss to disappointment to fear. And then I started to remember, okay, I remember something. I've been here before. I've been in bliss, disappointment, and fear, and then I was in a whirlpool of that, and I kept trying to control it from the outside. Well, maybe if I fix this thing, then I'll be okay. Maybe if I get skinny enough, then I'll be okay. Maybe if I seek riches, or some guy, or some situation, or some car. I remember thinking that when I was in this little swirlpool, I just made that up, I don't know, of first I'm happy, then I'm disappointed, then I'm scared, so I find something else to try to make me happy. Excuse the dog. Then I'm in a whirlpool of not happy. It's not where I want to be. This is not where I want my life to be. I do remember being that way, and it happened again election night, and I was like, but I've learned stuff, right? I don't have to be in this whirlpool, do I? No, I don't. And then I started thinking, well, what do I know for sure? And I started looking around me, and I remember that nothing has actually changed. Things will change, possibly, but in this moment, nothing has changed. I'm still breathing. And I remembered, oh, that's right, gratitude. I was reading that book by Pam Grout, The Think and Grow Rich. And I remembered, oh, that's right. I'm supposed to be grateful. Now I'm still mad, I'm still disappointed, but I'm not surprised. But at the same time, I don't want to stay there because I know that my energy creates the next steps, the next things in my life. And I don't want to create from there. I don't want to go back into that little swirlpool of trying to grasp into external things so I can feel better. There's something deeper, something higher, something else. And so that's when I took myself back to just being grateful, just looking around, trying to be thankful, trying to find something. Even if I can breathe. Look at me breathing. Look at me. And then I look at the dog. She doesn't know that more than half the country chose a crazy man over a very accomplished woman. She doesn't. She has no idea. She's just like, when are we going to go for a walk? And can you throw the ball? Okay? So that took me out of the poor me swirlpool of I'm just going to give up, right? And then I thought, all right, so if I stay in gratitude and if I try to keep my vibration high, even though, I'm not going to stop looking at the fear and disappointment. It's not going to run me though. And then I remember the next morning taking the dog for a walk. And as you know, that's when all of my enlightenment happens. On the walk with the dog in nature. And I'm walking. And I'm walking. And I notice how, trees are still trees and leaves are still leaves. None of them got the memo. None of them are scared. And then I saw people. And I thought, you know what? That person probably voted for that other guy. And then I said, you know what? I'm not going to let them change my energy. I'm not going to let these so-called facts change my joy. Because then what happens? Then I can't be part of the solution if I'm now the thing everybody, see, angry woman over there. I'm not going to let them change me. And then I thought about something Reverend Michael said, and maybe this will stick with you too. He said that the universe is always progressing, evolving toward, and we know what it's evolving toward. When you say evolving, everybody knows when they look deep inside that love is higher than fear, that joy is higher than hate, and that all of the notions that humans aspire toward, it's because the universe is set up that way. It rewards and it supports. It's easier to smile than it is to frown. It just, you don't fight so hard when you're in alignment with what's right, what's good, what's highest. And the universe is moving toward evolution. And so even though in this moment we feel like we've gone back, Reverend Michael said this. He says it's like a boomerang. Not a boomerang. He said it was like a slingshot. That sometimes in order to go forward, you got to create tension. You got to pull back. And that energy, that kinetic energy that is being stored as you pull back, wait till you let go and it pew, forward. He said sometimes we experience this moving back in order to gain the energy we need to move forward. And will we be in alignment with the energy as it moves forward? Will we be one of the forward arrows? We will if we maintain our stance. So the fact that the love and the joy that Leah just sang through, the warmth, the holding on, and the strength, and the sharing, and the giving, she didn't say, go in your hole and hide until it's over. No. She said that we got to let go of the fear and have the courage and the kindness and this warmth, and our work is not over. And yet, this thing that we deem to be bad, does it have to be bad? We are making up stories about it being bad. What if the same circumstances are meant to gather our energy as a group of light beings that are meant to just take this momentum and move forward? So I offer to you that this is the drawing back of the slingshot, but it's not the end of the story. So cancel your plans to go live with Warda, who's in Canada. Stay here and let's get busy. Now, let's talk about the content for this talk. And of course, this is abundance, the month of abundance. And when we think about abundance, and it's funny the way they took the bun and they took it away from the dance, and the title is More Buns to Share. Why am I thinking of SpongeBob turning around and waggling his behind? I don't know, because I have a cartoon in my head running at all times. But let's see if this can make sense. In light of what just happened, how can we look at this talk and turn it into an evidence of, yes, see that? This is exactly where we're supposed to be because we have work to do. Check this out. The sentence, the affirmation that's in my notes, that they wrote this August of 2023. It says, seeing the connection of all, I recognize my part in the thriving of all. What's my part in everybody else's thriving? And then there's a story. I'm just going to read it to you straight from the notes here. There was once a farmer who grew excellent quality corn. Every year he won the award for the best corn. One year, a newspaper reporter interviewed him and learned something interesting about how he grew it. The reporter discovered that the farmer shared his seeds with his neighbors. Other farms shared the seeds with the other farms. What? So the reporter asked, how can you afford to share your best seed with your neighbors when they are entering in competition with your seeds every year? How are you doing that with your corn and their corn? How? How are you sharing with them? And the farmer says, why, sir, don't you know? The wind picks up pollen from the ripening corn and swirls it from field to field. If my neighbors grow inferior corn, cross-pollination will steadily degrade the quality of my corn. If I am to grow good corn, I must help my neighbors grow good corn. Ha. And so it is with our lives. If we want to live a meaningful and well life, we must help enrich the lives of other people. It is not enough to run at home and hide until it's over. We get out there. The value of a life is measured in the lives that it touches. The value of a life is measured by all the lives that we touch. And the quality of response and joy depends on the quality of thoughts and the love that we share and spread. So what is the quality of our thoughts? What's the love that we share? This last piece hits home. And those who choose to be joyful must help others find happiness, for the welfare of each is bound up with the welfare of all. So it's a perfect little parable about, it's not about just our stuff. That's what happens when we get disappointed and when it doesn't go our way. We are tempted to just close up and go within and just take care of our own. But that's the opposite. What we should do is just, I still think we got to deal with it. It's okay to cry. That's what Leah was singing, and absolutely, we've been there. But I'm one of those who I almost give myself a time limit to cry and be sad because I know I need it, but I also know that the more I feed it, the more, I don't know about you, but I have this mind that's like an octopus. If I'm sad about something, then I reach for other reasons to be sad. And then every interaction I have, I try something about me, tries to use that as another reason. And it's just like I want to dogpile on myself to get myself to be super sad. And I've noticed that that's I give myself like, 10, 15, 20 minutes maximum. Then it's like, okay, let's do something. One of the things that's been helping me, I'll keep an eye on the clock here, is, because this is an aside, one of the things that's been helping me is to tell a story in my head. What would it be like if this was meant for good? What if this were a story that's unfolding? How could I move past the appearance of, oh no, this is terrible, into something that, but you needed this because then this good thing came? It reminds me of the story that we often tell in ministerial school, and I'm sure you've heard me tell it, about the farmer. Apparently he was a Chinese farmer off in the hinterlands of China somewhere, and he was fortunate because he had a son. And the neighbor said, oh, how fortunate for you have a son. And then the farmer said, maybe good luck, maybe not. Maybe, maybe good, maybe bad. And then there was a horse that a bunch of horses ran in, and they were wild horses. And the neighbor said, oh, that's bad, you got wild horses. And then the farmer said, maybe good, maybe bad. And then the son was able to tame one of the horses, and the farmer next door, oh good, your son was able to tame one of the wild horses. Maybe good, maybe bad. Because the horse threw the son, and the son broke his leg, and then here comes the farmer. You know how this is going to go. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's good. In a nutshell, the farmer, the one who kept holding his judgment, the main character of the story, kept being tempted to see everything, label everything as, oh, that's good. Oh, that's bad. Oh, this is good. And it's what we all do. We want to label this most recent thing as, oh, that's bad. But what if we could tell ourselves a story? Oh, by the way, I should finish the story in case you haven't heard it before. Sorry. Yes, the son of the farmer was thrown off the horse. He broke his leg, which was so-called bad. But a week later, the army came through to draft every able-bodied male within a certain age range, which can't use my son. Sorry, he's got a broken leg, so that's good. And then it kind of trails off because the story keeps good, bad, good, bad. We don't know how it's going to be used. We don't know how we're going to be used. So back to the question of, on Tuesday, oh no, it's terrible, it's terrible. It does look terrible. Could be good, could be bad. So I asked myself, what kind of story would unfold if this thing were actually good? Like, we're going to call it good. So what kind of things could come from this so-called bad that could then be good in the future? I'll let you use your imagination to decide what that might be. But there are many paths. Everything that happens to us is not the final path that then end of story, no future storylines available. It all can be used. Everything that's happened to us right here, right now, can be used for our highest good. The universe has a lot of mysterious ways of unfolding, ways that each of us can think back and ask ourselves, at the time I thought getting fired would be the worst thing to happen to me. Turns out I found out I'm the artist of the year. I don't know. We just don't know in this current moment, and we want to know. We want to have this crystal ball. But I would submit to you that as we seek these final good or bad, it's our anxiety just wishing we could control external circumstances. It's our anxiety thinking that external circumstances are real. Now, I'm not going to get weird and tell you, we're living in a simulation. Even if we were, it's real to us. We're inside of it. We were born in it. All this stuff is real. But I need you to know that there's something bigger. There's something bigger. Because when I went from living in that swirlpool of fear and then disappointment and then, it was bliss first, then disappointment because something didn't go right. And then fear, oh no, get some more stuff. I learned the teachings of this spiritual center. The Centers for Spiritual Living is based on ancient wisdom that says there's something bigger going on. It's not limited to that which you can see and touch. And that bigger thing that's going on is always benevolent. It is the trajectory of the universe that always evolves to better, better, better. And we always know what that is. We know the energy behind what that is, I want to say. The frequency of love being the arc of the universe. Okay, so I know that to be true. And I found out that if I sit, if I meditate, if I contact that within me, then when I do come out of my meditations and I come out of my prayer, that I can look at the world with different eyes, expecting different things. Because you see, I'm no longer naming it bad, therefore hiding. No, I am now more convinced that the inside, what I've got inside of me, vision, inspiration, and intuition that tells me when I'm on the right track, I'm getting in touch with this higher frequency. Then I open my eyes. I can see different things now. I can see possibilities. When we're looking with the eyes of the divine within us, we see different things than when we're looking out of fear and anxiety and worry and all of those lower frequencies. And in that book from Pam Grout, she talks about one woman who was so fraught. She was so fraught. She's just frazzled. She's trying to get to a location and she's angsty. She can't find the location. She's walking back and forth. It should be right here. Siri said it's right here, and she can't find it. And she's looking and looking, and she closed her eyes and took a deep breath and just kind of cleared out all that angsty, and then opened her eyes and was like, oh my God, it was right in front of me. How many times have we swear we cannot find a thing, and it's sitting right there? And this other story in the book, she talks about a woman who was waiting for a bus, but then caught up in all of the turmoil that happens when you're in worry and you're in fear and you're in doubt, and you just can't. The woman was mad because the bus never came. The bus couldn't, it's late. Bus passed right by her. She couldn't even see it. Passed right by. Didn't even see the bus. There's a video that I'll put into the chat afterwards, and I won't spoiler alert it, but there's a whole thing that happens. And then there's another thing that if you're focused on the wrong thing, you won't see the other thing. Looks like I already gave it away. Anyway, it's a bunch of people playing basketball. Reverend Sunday showed this years ago in our center. And she told us to count the number of times the ball was passed between people. And so while some of us were busy counting the ball and how many times it changed hands, a big old gorilla, like a man in a gorilla suit, came in and just was like, And no one saw it because they were counting the times counting the times, the number of times the basketball changed hands. So I'm just saying all that to say this. It's important that when we're in these moments of upheaval and worry and fear and doubt and anger, don't let it win. Watch who you hang around. If people want to stay in that poor is me and the fear and they're reading all the news about what's going to happen that's terrible, two things. One, that thing didn't happen yet. People are speculating. Stop reading stories about what's gonna happen, because it ain't happened yet. Nothing in your physical self has changed since Tuesday. It's our thoughts about what's going to happen that have tainted everything. And I'm not here to say that you should be able to sing at work. No, I had to work that next day, and I went through these feelings of every maybe 5 minutes, I felt that dread that you feel when your whole identity is just... And yet I had to keep teaching. So I'm not saying that I want you to just toss out any sense of disappointment or that thing that comes up behind your eyes and then you got to swallow it because people expect you to finish your sentence. No, I'm not saying ignore that. Feel that. That's what it is to be human. But don't believe it. Don't believe any of your thoughts, especially now. Because the thoughts come from fear. They come from a certain vibration of how could they, what, how, why? There's a lot of why questions when I already know it's just misogyny with color. I mean, hello. But, okay, fine. Do your why thing. Sure. But don't, if I could tell you one thing, don't follow every rabbit down the rabbit hole. There's nothing there. It's all illusion. And when we make up stories about 50 things that could happen, and only one of those things actually happen, we have changed our energy and we have created our life with the fear-based energy. We have stopped seeing our opportunities. We can't see them because we're too busy being all worried. And then the universe that's trying to give us exactly what is our heart's desire, it's like, I wish you could see it. It's right here. So I would just really want us to acknowledge what's going on. Do not do the spiritual bypass thing and say, everything's fine, it's all fine. No, don't do that. But also, by accepting where we are, it gives us an idea of what to be grateful for and what possibilities can come. Because that's the energy that I would like to create. We're going to create no matter what. What are you creating from? That's the question. So we get into gratitude and we have enough buns to share. And when the world looks to us to be mad, when they're looking to us to be bitter, deny them that joy. Don't let these people take your joy. Because then that's when it's really come home to roost. Don't do it. We go within and we allow the universal love and joy and peace to emanate out of us. So we become so contacted with it that it just kind of oozes out of us. And then we share that with people. And I don't want you to even guess. Don't even try to figure out if this is one of those people that voted for the other guy. Don't even do it. They're just humans. And we love because that is our nature. And we love because that is what we build from. Love. And we want to be available. We want to be one of the vessels that are part of the arrow that moves forward. So let's go within and do our prayer. There's only one divine energy. That is the divine energy that has never left us. It is in and through and as us. It is actually beating our hearts. It is the energy that keeps the earth in suspended gravity in this entire solar system. It is that same energy that keeps our solar system inside the gravity of the entire galaxy. It is this energy that keeps all of the galaxies suspended infinitely. Everyone is imbued with this divine energy, even if they're a little misled and a little distracted. Who knows? We are all divine beings having our human experience, an experience which we get to choose. Every single day we choose our experience. And so I speak my word that each and every one of us chooses the high energy path. We choose to sit and get close to that divine energy that's nearer than our hands and feet. It's closer to us than our very breath. I know that each and every one of us are just more and more interested in expressing that in this world because we can choose it. And I speak this energy of peace for every being in this entire world. And that we are all just realizing our harmony and how we are more alike than we're not alike, that we are unified in this field of divine. And so I simply am grateful, so grateful to be able to find more and more things to be grateful for, because I know that that too multiplies. I release my word into this law that always says yes, knowing that it shall not come back to me void, but it will come back with the fruits of all of the beauty that is. I simply let it go. And so it is. Amen and Ashe.
Amen. Ashe. And I am really tickled because you mentioned simulation theory, and I just got a recommendation to watch The Simulation Hypothesis with Neil deGrasse Tyson. So don't blow it off. Don't blow it off. But thank you so much, Shar. You definitely, took me on the journey that is most beneficial to all of us this morning. So there's so much to appreciate, even when the world seems out of hand, even when we do not understand. Still there's so much to be grateful for, even in the temptation to grieve. Let us take a moment just to breathe and recognize there's so much. There's so much that is wonderful, even in the midst of loss and change. There's a chance that something new begins, and don't we want that so much? I know we need it so much. There's so much love, so much joy in the world, so much beauty at our command. There's so much grace and so much peace in the world, so much holy that we all can feel. There is so much, so much.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Leah. Thank you, Kristen, for the wonderful meditation. And of course, thank you so much, Reverend Charlene, for that wonderful, wonderful message today. All right, folks. So now is the time that we just say thank you. Thank you for the abundance in our lives that allow us to receive and also allow us to give, like you heard in our opening video. As you give, so shall you receive. The donations that you share with us keep moving. They help us to do what we do each Sunday. They also go to our home office. and they also go to organizations that support our mission of helping to create a world that works for everyone. So you can see there's so many different ways that you can give. Odds are, I have a feeling that you found a way that works for you. And just know that we appreciate your help and your support. All right, please join me in the blessing of our gifts. The presence of spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I am a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live. And so it is. Speaking of abundance, right? Oh my goodness. All right, there's some announcements. So Dream Study, the next one will be on Saturday, November 16th. It's at 10 o'clock on Eastern Standard Time. If you're having neat dreams that you'd like to discuss to somebody else, or confusing dreams that you'd like to discuss with somebody else, join Charlene and her friends. They meet, they share their dreams. We know that the universe is always communicating to us, and sometimes messages are buried in the dreams. We can't quite see it, but we talk about it with our friends, and they help us maybe see something that we could not see ourselves, something that we missed. So Dream Study with Charlene. The next one will be on Saturday, the 16th. And
Right, let me switch
good,
slides.
good.
Go
While
ahead and
she does that, I just came across something, and I'll fill in a little bit of time. So the expression happy holidays, we're getting into the holiday season, as we say, when some people think of Thanksgiving, some people think of Christmas, some people think of Hanukkah. And I came across this, and I thought it was really neat. I wanted to share it with you. So feel free to say happy holidays during this time, because between November 1st and January 15th, there are 29 holidays.
What?
And I have a feeling Charlene is going to use that in an upcoming message. But why is this happening all now? Well, we can go into reasons, but 29 holidays between November 1st and January 15th from 7 different major religions.
Wow.
So I'm going to start right now. Like, happy holidays, everyone. And the people that I meet, and if I get corrected, like, don't say happy holidays, I'm going to say, you know what? I'm being extremely inclusive. Did you know there are 29 holidays between November 1st, January 15th from 7 major religions? I think that's pretty cool. And I think that's part of what we believe in CSL, a world that works for everyone. So with that gave Charlene time to pull up a slide, because it is November. And November is a time where we think about our conscious giving, where it's not a coincidence. There's never a coincidence, right? It's not a coincidence that our theme for the month of November is abundance. So the conscious giving program occurs in November, and it's an invitation to deepen into our own spiritual practice by joyfully, not sitting and worrying, how am I going to get this done? How am I going to pay these bills? No, it's accessing the law of circulation through the process of conscious and consistent financial support of our center, which results in an increased abundance for ourselves and for our community, like ripples in the pond. You throw the little rock in, and the ripples just keep spreading, and spreading. And it's so easy to do. If you haven't done so already, please pull up your phone, use your QR code reader, and just pop on that. It'll take you right where you need to go. Or you can go to this link. Odds are Charlene is putting it in the chat to make life easy, so you can click right on it. And it just takes you, asks you little questions. I did it last week. What did it take me? Like 10 seconds, 20, maybe 30 seconds max. And why do we need you to do this in November? Because at the end of November, as soon as we get what you're pledging to our center, our leadership council can create our budget for the year of 2025. So we need to know, right? We can't have grandiose plans and a bare pocketbook. So we need to know, what are we going to work with for the year 2025? Please know that whatever you can give, we greatly, greatly appreciate. We appreciate, like it says here in my little journal, we appreciate when you share your resources. It might be time, it might be talent, it might be treasure. And November is the month that we just take a moment to say, how can I share? How can I share a little bit of my treasure with CSL Leesburg? And we thank you so, so, so much for your support. Like you hear me say so often, we can't do what we do without your support. Please make sure that you do this by November 30th. And here's the little tickler, the little tease, the carrot, you could say. You're going to get one of these wonderful journals. You've heard that people have them. I fill mine up every single Sunday and I take great notes. And it's a wonderful way for me to know not only what's the message going to be on any given day, what is the theme going to be for any given month, but also what's going on. Like I journal anything that's going to be anything, messages, anything that I got from the message or the music or the meditation, what really resonated with me. Don't always share everything in pearls, but I still put it down in my journal. And Charlene was adding a little comment. It's going to be electronic this year. Okay, I see everything's moving away from paper. I get it. But we know that it will be beautiful. It will be inspirational, and it'll be a wonderful tool to keep at your side. And Charlene, can you hear? She's always like going, you can print it out. It's okay. And you know I will. You know I will, Charlene. I'll even have it bound so that I can keep adding to my collection. I look through these from time to time. It's really fun. It's my spiritual journal of my spiritual journey. All right, folks, with all that being said, it's time for our closing affirmation. You know that we do a little thing called pearls. If you can, just stay with us. We chat. Maybe there's things you'd like to share of meditation, the music, the message, something that gave you inspiration, or you just want to hang out with us and chat. Please stay if you can afterwards. And if you can't, we understand. It's busy time. We'll send you on your way with our blessings. Here we go. You ready for the closing affirmation? Put your hands over your heart. Take a moment, maybe even give yourself a big hug, a big squeeze. It was a rough week, but we know this too shall pass. We know that. It's all good. It's all God. We can make it through. Now, join me and say, I am love.
I am love.
Thank you. You know I love it when you turn on your mics. Here we go. Think of someone. Look at someone, maybe someone in the room with you, a loved one, a friend, a furry companion, or sending this out. I'm a big believer. We're all connected, right? Maybe there's somebody who needs a little reminder. Here we go. You ready? Let's send this message out. You are loved.
You are love.
are love.
Beautiful. Thank you. Now we put our hands up in the air and we do something that we call love sprinkles. Here we go. You ready? It's all love.
It's all love.
It's all love.
All love. Wonderful.
Yay.
All right, folks, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us. If you can, please stay. And if you can't, we understand. And we send you off with our love and blessings. Bye-bye.